This is the incredible story of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the architect of a nation.
So, let's kick things off with this powerful call to action from Dr. Ambedkar, who many affectionately call Baba Saheb. Be educated, be organized, be agitated. Now look, this isn't just some catchy slogan. These three commands are basically the blueprint for his entire incredible life.
To really understand the man, you first have to understand the world he was born into, a world that, in many ways, tried to break him from day one. So let's go back to his early years.
Okay, so you look at this, and it seems pretty standard, right? Born in 1891, he was the 14th child of an army officer. But there's one critical detail that isn't listed here, a detail that would define his entire existence and set him on a path of unbelievable struggle. And that detail was this. He was born into the Mahar community, a group that was considered untouchable. And let's be really clear, this wasn't just a label. It was a brutal, everyday reality of humiliation, of being segregated, of being denied the most basic human dignities. This was the first great wall he had to overcome. So what do you do when an entire society is built to hold you down? How do you fight back? Well, Dr. Ambedkar chose his weapon, and it was a brilliant one that no one could ever take from him. A relentless, unstoppable pursuit of knowledge.
And I mean, he built an absolutely astonishing intellectual arsenal. Just look at this timeline. We're not talking about just one doctorate, but two. From two of the most prestigious universities on the planet, Columbia and the London School of Economics. This wasn't just about collecting degrees, not at all. This was a strategy. He was forging the weapons he would need to take on a centuries-old system of injustice.
And this really gets to the heart of his philosophy. Knowledge is the foundation of every person's life. For him, education was never some abstract idea. It was the only real tool for liberation. It was the foundation on which millions could build a life of dignity. So, armed with this truly world-class education, he returns to India. And now the time for studying is over. It's time to enter the fight. And he tackled the problem from every possible angle. First, he starts a newspaper, the Muk Nayak, or Leader of the Silent, to finally give a voice to those who had been silenced. Then he takes his fight to the courtroom, using his legal genius to challenge discrimination. And at the very same time, he's on the ground, organizing people, building a movement to demand their rights. Now, all this work, his powerful intellect, his tireless struggle, his fearless voice for justice, it got noticed, big time. And as India was on the verge of becoming an independent nation, he was called upon for the biggest task of all, to help build the country itself. And what happens next is one of history's most powerful moments. The very same man who was once denied the right to sit in a classroom with others was now appointed as the first law minister of a free and independent India. Just think about that journey. It's truly extraordinary. But with this incredible honor came an absolutely immense question. Maybe one of the toughest of the entire century. How do you actually write down the rules for freedom, for equality, for a brand new nation of hundreds of millions, and make sure that this time no one gets left behind? To answer that monumental question, India's leaders turned to the one man who understood injustice from the inside out. Dr. Ambedkar was appointed chairman of the drafting committee. His job? To be the chief architect of the very soul of the new nation, its constitution. And just listen to the passion in this quote. It's staggering. It shows you that for him, the Constitution was never just a dusty legal book. It was a living, breathing instrument for social change. And he vowed that he would not only be its creator, but its fiercest guardian, even if it meant protecting it from itself. Dr. Ambedkar passed away on December 6, 1956. But when you think about it, a person like him never really leaves. His ideas, his questions, his legacy, they continue to pump through the heart of modern India today. You know, in his final years, he made one last profound move in his fight against the caste system. He came to believe that true equality just wasn't possible within that structure. So he converted to Buddhism, a path he saw as being rooted in equality. And the power of that decision was immense. At his funeral, over 1 million of his followers converted right there, in his honor. This quote really brings everything full circle, doesn't it? His lifelong obsession with education wasn't just a means to an end.
He truly believed that the whole point of being human was to constantly learn, to grow, and to cultivate your own mind.
And this brings us to his ultimate test, his benchmark for any society, any government, any belief system. For Dr. Ambedkar, the measure of a true religion was simple. Does it teach liberty, equality, and fraternity? If it didn't, well, then it had failed in its most fundamental purpose.
So this is where we're left. Dr. Ambedkar gave India a legal framework for freedom. He put it all down on paper. But he also left us with a piercing question that he himself struggled with. We might have constitutional freedom, but how we achieve social freedom? That's the challenge he left for every single generation to answer.